Yeah, YouTubers, Taz Man here, bringing you another episode of Taz Teaches Java. In our last episode, we kind of were figuring things out and stuff, but we're working on our main class here, and we've got to where now we've got the letter that the user inputs, and we're saving it in a variable called letter. So now what we need to do is start checking if that letter exists in our hidden word, right? Oh, excuse me. So let's go ahead first. So the first thing we're going to want to do is actually check. So they put in a letter. We want to make sure that letter is not already used. And if it is already used, then they need to go ahead and just guess another letter. Because generally, well, sometimes when you play Hangman, if you guess the same letter twice, you do get penalized and you do get thing. We're going to be a little nice. So what we're going to do is here we're going to do maybe let's check if fig the I want to say guessed letter, sure, is A-L-R-E-A-D already used. So we want to check if that letter is already used. So the way we're going to do that is we have no, I think we need to write. Do we have a letter used? Should we call it letter used? I'm trying to think, what should we call it? Oh man, I think I've got a cold, so I apologize if I sniff a lot. I'll try not to, but who knows if I will or won't. So maybe let's just create a letter used, because I don't remember doing that. So I create hidden word, show hidden word. Let's just put it maybe right here. For no other reason than we can, right? So this is going to be check if the selected letter has already been used. So the way we're going to do this is if we don't have it here, I don't remember. Didn't we have one of these called used or alpha used? So all we have to do is check the letter we have against this array list. And if it's in there, then it's already used. So it's going to be pretty easy. It's not going to be a super short one like something like this, but it still will be relatively easy. So it's going to be public because we want to be able to call it externally or from outside this class. And it's going to be a Boolean that is going to return. We're just going to either say, yes, it has been used, or no, it hasn't. So Boolean is a way to go with that, I think. And then let's just call it letter used. And we're going to pass it a char, because we're going to pass the letter that the person guessed, or the user guessed. So it's going to be a char. And we'll just call it letter still. And then go ahead and do that. So now what we need to do is think, all right, so we get the letter. What do we need to do? So we need to say if, and one of the nice things about our using these string, the array list, is it actually has a contains built-in function, so we can actually just check if the letter's there or if it's not. So what we want to do is then say, so if the letter's used, and we want to do that by ALPHA alpha used, and then we want dot and contains right here. So this will do that, and then all we have to do is then assign our letter, which is it in our list? Our letter. And if it is used, then we definitely don't want to do anything. So we'll just return true. that yes, it is used. PUB. Why is it not like that? Oh, because this is complaining because we don't always return something. That's what it's going to say here is, wait a minute. Syntax error on token public expected. PUB. Oh, public. But it's also going to whine about that. Oh, get rid of that one. That's public. Pub. L. Pubic. No, that's not what we want. So now what it's saying here is that we're not always returning something. It has to return something, but only if it's true will we return something, and we don't want that. So we're going to say else. Oh my heavens, I shouldn't be typing today. So we're going to say else, and then do this, and then we're going to say ALPHA used. And we're going to add that dot add, and then we're going to add our letter to it. And that should, and then of course we want to return false. So we don't really need to return anything other than true or false here, because we're going to modify in this class our added letter and stuff. So we don't need to worry about that. All we then have to do is go update our characters, our character bar and stuff with the new values. So that should do that. So now we have right here. So now what we want to do is say if, and say GUESS dot, and we want to use our letter used, and we'll just have it be letter. That's perfect. So in this case, if it's false, we want to output something and say you've already used that letter, right? So let's just do it kind of as a notification type thing. So we'll do we'll do an S out. Oops, I did that wrong. Control space. There we go. And we want to say you have ALREAD already used, and the letter, and then we'll do a space. We'll maybe do something just to make it stand out a little bit, maybe a tilde like that, and then we'll do plus and LETTER like that, and then another plus and maybe another tilde at the end. So that will let them know they've already used this letter, and it'll continue on. So we don't need to actually try and add the letter to the bar and stuff, right? Or check if, we don't need to check if our letter is actually in the word. So we have letter used now. So this is going to mean we're going to need another function called probably something like letter used, or not, maybe check letter. What was this one called? I don't remember. Letter used. So we want to check the letter, I think, right? So let's do ELSE and do this. Is that how I want it? Yeah, I think that's what I want. So then let's just say, let's do this and say check if the LETTER is in the word, right? And then this, once again, we're going to have to say, how do I want to do this? So we're only going to, the thing is we're probably only going to increment our turn here, which is set to 0, if the letter is not in the word. We're not going to count it as a turn. They only get 6 wrongs, right? 6 wrongs, right? So we're going to need another guy in here. Is this the one right here? Yeah. Called check letter. And this one might be a little bit more on the complex side. We'll put it right above this guy and say check if the, oh my gosh, users L-E-T-T-E-R is, oh my heavens, in our word. So we're going to check if their letter is in the word, right? And to do this, it's going to be public because we're calling it from the outside. Public. We'll spell it right this time. This is going to return another Boolean. B-O-O-L-E-A-N. I shouldn't have woke up this morning. C-H-E-C-K-L-E-T-T-E-R. So we're going to check the letter, and of course we're just passing C-H-A-R, L-E-T-T letter. Now, just like we did below, right here, all we had to do is check the letter, and we return true if we've used it, return false if we haven't. And we're doing all the processes inside this class instead of like passing it back and saying yes, and then go ahead and inside our main say, okay, now go update used letter. Okay, now go do this, go do that, right? We're doing the majority of that in our class itself. So what we're going to do is kind of the same thing we did here, except for it's going to be a little more complex because we do have our, is it our hidden word or our word? We have the word, but this time we're going to loop through the word because we want to find the contains will simply return true if it contains that letter. So if there's one or more, it's not going to care. It's only going to say, yep, it's there. So we actually need to loop through our word because in, for example, the word look, we have two O's, and we don't only want to show the first O, we actually want to show both. And so where on earth was I typing all this? Down here, I think. Here we go. So we're going to go ahead and need to actually do more of a loop. So what we want to do, how do we want to do this? So we could call a Boolean So let's try and do this. So I'm going to set up a Boolean, kind of a flag, Boolean. And I'm going to call it ding, like ding, ding, ding. We found it, D-I-N-G. And we're going to set its initial value to false. Oh my heavens, F-A-L-S-E. We're going to set its initial value to false. And then we want to, we're going to have to clear out our hidden word. We're going to replace it, but we need to clear out the hidden word. So the new H-I-D-D-E-N, we're going to create a new hidden word, which will be what it'll replace if I think in our actual word or something. So new hidden word, and we're going to do dot. Because don't we have that? Do we not have that up here yet? It doesn't look like it. So maybe right under hidden word here, we need to create, oops, what did I just do? Hidden word. So underneath it, P-R-I-V-A-T-E, private, and this will be a string buffer. And this will be new, H-I-D-D-E-N, new hidden word equals new, and I don't think we care about the size, so we'll just do new string buffer. String buffer, just like that. And we'll put a 0 in here because we don't care about that. We'll just make it blank. Now, it's already blank at the beginning, but as we go through this game, it's going to populate. So we need to clear that each time to make sure that we're updating the word and we're not like appending onto it, because that would not be good. So let's go ahead and we'll say new hidden word. And let me just think. Just trying to think what. So we want to reset it. Set length to 0. So this is going to clear our hidden word. Let's just add that just so we can remember what it's doing. CLEAR, clear the new hidden, keep it space, word buffer. So we're going to clear our new hidden word, right, before writing to it. Then what we want to do is go ahead and loop. We're going to loop through each character of the word to see if the SELECT selected LETTR is in it. Whew. Okay, so this is going to be a loop for, we're going to do a for, let's do int equals int I equals a 0, and a semicolon, and then I, and this is going to be our actual word we're checking against, so word dot length. So there's our length, and then, oh, whoops, I is less than. So we loop while there's letters still in our word, and then we need to do our I++, and go. All right, so first thing we want to do is we're going to check our first character, right? So we're going to say if, and we're going to do CHARACTR. We want to make sure that it's lower. So to lower, nope, to the other lower, to lowercase, and this is going to be word, W-O, word dot, or is it dot? Yeah, char at, C-E-H-A-R. So we need char at index spot I. And this will check, for example, the first time in our iteration, it's going to check the spot in slot 0. What have I got? That looks like a lot of parentheses. Let's see, how many do we need here? Probably just the 2. 1. Oh, 3. So we have 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. So we have to end with 3 as well, and then do that. That should fix it, right? Type mismatch. Cannot convert char to Boolean. All right, so what am I missing here? Char word. Oh, I forgot the toString, because right now it's just the array list. So dot toString, and then char I, and we have to actually do our comparison. Do our comparison in char at I. So then we need to say equals equals. I think this is the whole parentheses for that part. Yes. So then we're going to do almost the same thing. We're going to say CHARACT character dot new. Where's our new hidden word in here? Wait. Whoops, I forgot. We got to do character dot, not our new hidden word just yet. We're doing 2 lowercase, to lower. And this time, we're just checking against letter. We're just checking against TER. What the? 3 T's and 1. Okay. So character 2 letter, and then we have our other guy there. That should do it. Okay. So now that we have that, we need to. So now what we're saying is if this is true, if the letter that we're choosing is found in that, we need to change our new hidden word to have that letter, right? And then we can say we can set ding to true, just so we know overall we have found the letter, or it's in our word. We don't care about how many times. We're going to do that in a minute. So this is, so let's say we have the word look. We're looking at L. It's going to say, okay, we're at position 0. And we're looking at letter. If letter is L, then it's going to return true. And what we want to do then is append that. So we want to say new hidden word dot app append. And we're going to append, we could just do letter. Yeah, I think we could just do letter. Because I was thinking we might want to do the lowercase character, world, the word, and then do the char at, and then place I. Because we don't need it to be lower when we're actually outputting it. It doesn't care. This is what the person's going to see. So we're going to say, we're going to go ahead and append letter, right? Then we're going to set ding to true, which means it at least found one instance. So ding equals true. The bell went off. We found one. Then what we need to do is handle what happens ELSE if the letter is not at that portion of the word, because we know the letter is going to be in there somewhere. So technically, I guess we don't need the ding. I don't know. We'll leave it in there because when I was thinking about it, it made sense. So now what we're going to do is simply do this exact same thing for our semicolon, and we're just going to append the wrong letter to our thing. So this will, word, remember, is encrypted, so to speak. So if it's actually, or wait, no, is word encrypted? Oh, it's not going to be, hold on, I got to think for a second. No, this wouldn't be letter. This would definitely have to be, this is our hidden word, HIDD. This is the word you don't see. And we need the char at index position I, because our word is just a bunch of stars at the time. So what we want to do is, if the letter isn't in there, we're replacing it. We want to change it and actually grab the actual letter of the real word, right? Because that's what we did up here. We created the hidden word from word. I think that's right. Because if it's not, we want it to replace it with a star. Yes, that's right. Okay. So now we come outside of our loop here, our for loop, and we're going to go ahead and change our hidden word. Set HIDD hidden, because we want to update it, right? Yeah. So hidden word dot set length, because now we have a new hidden word. So we're going to set the length down to 0, like that. And then we're going to do HIDD hidden word again. And we're going to do a append. And we're just going to append the entire new hidden word. And that should do that. And then, of course, we have to return ding. And that's just, I mean, I guess we could always just return true. Because if we've already checked if the letter, no, the letter, we're checking if the letter's used, not, okay, that's right, we want to do that. All right, so now if we go back to our main here, and we just did, so we're checking if the letter is in the word. That's why we're doing that. So what we want to do is say if, and we're going to do a not here. We're going to invert it, or whatever you want to call it. We're going to say guess dot check check letter. Oops. Check letter, and we're going to check our letter, and we need to see that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to kind of do opposite, because we only want to say sorry the letter's not there if the letter's not there. In other words, we're just updating, we're just checking, making sure, and then we're going back up here and updating the word and stuff. So let's go ahead and why you got that, because we need one more. Okay. So now what we need to do is we only want to increment the turn, and that's kind of the big thing here. We only want to increment the turn if they got it wrong. So we only want to increment the turn if the letter, how about the guessed letter, is not in the word. So something like that, maybe. Or not, yeah, if it's not in the word. So here we're going to say tur turn and plus plus to increment turn. Then we're going to do s out, set that out, and maybe say something like \n, so sorry, the letter, and then let's do that tilde thing again, just to make it stand out what letter it is, and then do plus letter, yeah, because it's not in the word, because the other ones you've already used it, so that makes sense. And then that, and then that. So now we're outputting that, and then we want to guess. We want to change our hangman state. HANG hangman state, and we'll set that to turn. So this will make it now so the hangman that displays will be in state number 1. Which will have, if we go look, state 0 is normal, state 1 now has a head. Okay, so the next thing we need to do here is this is checking if the letter is already used. If it's already used, then there's no reason to try and check into the thing, because it's actually going to find it. We don't want any of that. So if it's not already used, then we go ahead and tell them you've already used that one. We're nice, we're not actually incrementing turn, but then we want to go ahead and we need to check if the user actually has the word. Did the user guess the word? And we later on could add things in here that would allow them to, if they want to guess, they have an option to actually type in the word, and then you could just do a one-to-one comparison and see if, we're not going to do that here. So we're going to say if, and I think we're going to have to do another thing here, guess, let's call it, I don't think we have it yet, right? Maybe got word or something along those lines. So we'll do that to say if they got the word, And let's see, so go back to guesses. And we want to, I am following my notes here that I wrote just to make sure I'm doing this right. So it's kind of an outline. So maybe where's all our checking here? Letter used, guess letter. Let's just stick it right here. Like I said, in the class, it doesn't matter where the function falls, other than if you want it something logical. So CHE, this will be a really easy one too. So check if the user or player, I think we've been calling player, has GUESS guessed the word. And then this, so I think we said was going to be called got word. So this is PUBLIC, public, BOLEAN, Boolean, got word. Oh, we're at 30 minutes. Gotta hurry. And all we have to do here is say RETURN. We're just going to return the value of HIDD hidden word. So there's hidden word to string. Nope, not to string. Dot equals. So this is what's going to make it actually return a Boolean. And then inside here is our object to check against. So if the hidden word is equal to the word to string, then we know they got it right, and this will return true. BOO. So there we go. So that's all we have to do for our checking if they have actually got the word. So here we have guess got word. This should resolve itself as soon as I hit save, unless I didn't actually call it got word here. Public Boolean got word. Oh, I have to do this. I didn't have it actually take anything right, so we don't need to do anything there. Okay, so where are we? So what we need to do is, if they got the word, then obviously the game's over, and we would say S out. I think we're almost out of time, so \n and say GUESS guessed my word, WRD, and then we'll actually show them the word. We'll do the tilde thing again, because what did I just do? I hit insert, then hit plus, and then we'll say GUESS dot, did we do a get word already? Yeah, we did. Good. Plus, and then that, and then tilde. Perfect. So if they get it, we need to do that, but then we also want to change some other settings. We want to set end round to true. So exit, end round equals true, TRUE. So we want to set end round to true. If it's not, if they haven't got the word, then we want to check if turns is greater than or equal to max turns. So we want to check if they've used all their turns. So here we would say ELSE, and then enter here, and we would say GUESS dot hangman state. No. I need to say else if first. So else if parenthesis and say TU our turn is greater than equal to. Since we're only incrementing it by 1, we don't need really the greater than equal to. You could just do equals equals. But I don't know. If there were somehow that they actually lost 2 turns, there is a chance they could go over it and then it would return false. So we want to make sure that we're covering our bases there. And then this is MA. We did create one called max turns. Yes. So if that's the case, then we set GUESS dot hangman state, and we could just do max turns here. Since game is over, we could also do S out. We need to do print line. Let's do maybe \n and plus GUESS dot get hangman. So outputs the hangman state, right? And then maybe finally a message saying something like, let's do quote \n, and then you ran out of TURNS. BTT better. You luck next time. Now you could also take a moment here and say that you wanted to put you want to put what's it called? You wanted to output the actual answer. I don't think I would want to do that, just so there's replayability on the game, so they can actually play the same word another time, you know, if that was the word that came up. So we have that. Then we have right here, we'll just do S out. Just for aesthetics, we'll go ahead and add a couple \ns. Then we have our while end round. Then here was where we'd add our play again. I'm not going to add that right now because we're just going to play it as is. Because right now, all the play again's going to do is loop it and reset everything. So we'll check that. We do look like we might have an error, so we'll double check, make sure that it's all resolved. And let's go ahead and try this and just see how it works. So here we're running it. We can see that obviously this is the actual word. Remember, we put that in for testing. You can see it's displaying right. So if we guess a letter, so let's just guess T, we're going to guess lowercase t, and if everything works right, it replaced all the T's in the whole thing, right? So now if we say H, their H's are all replaced, so it looks good. E, so we got the thes. Let's throw in Z. All right, so we did get an error there, so we might have to go look at that. I'm thinking I probably didn't put in our guess. Let's go ahead and stop that real quick. Stop. So where it's saying invalid entry, guess a letter, that's actually down in here, isn't it? Or not here, that's actually right here. So we're saying less than equal to or greater than equal to. And is that what we want? I don't think we want the less than. If lowercase is, I don't think we want the equal to. Is that right? Let's try that. So save, run. Let's try Z real quick. There we go. And if we do A, we can get A. But if we try a 2, we get invalid entry, F. Basically every letter. Now if we do something like that, we can't actually see it up here right now. But you'll also see it is removing things. So if we do an invalid letter, like if we do we have Y? No, we haven't used Y. If we do like a word, YUI, it's only going to do the Y. So as you can see, there's the Y right there. So we're only looking at this first letter. But if it's like a period or a comma or a slash or anything like that, we're going to get the invalid entry. So it looks like we are, and then let's see if we do the wrong letter. Let's see if we do S and then S again. You have already used the letter S, as you can see up top. How many, we should probably output how many turns you've gone. And you can actually see the guy. We're not ever going to get it wrong because every letter is going to be in this phrase. So I think that takes care of it. We still have a little bit more to do. We'll go ahead and finish that up in the next episode. Then I think we're going to jump into the GUI side of things, where you actually have a graphical user interface. And then, unless you guys have specific requests, I think we'll be done with Java. And we might go into, I'm thinking Python, just because that's kind of being the next big thing. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Aside from that, comment, like, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Check out my Discord and my other channels for cool videos. I am so excited. TazzCraft is coming back. In fact, I'm going to be recording it in about an hour. So awesome. That's it. Until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.